Hello, and welcome to CIFF46 Programmers Pick Special. This is our second year cluing you all into some of our favorite films in the festival, but we've got lots of new things in store for you. First and foremost, we're beyond thrilled to finally be back in person with all of you at our brand new home, the beautiful and iconic Playhouse Square. The in-person festival will be happening March 30th to April 9th, followed by our third year of offering films online as part of CIFF Streams, an on-demand way to watch much of the CIFF46 program from your own home, April 10th to 17th. One of the most exciting announcements is the addition of our new features programmers, Neha Aziz, Ivana Cuevas, and Brett Ritter. I'm so proud of the program we all pulled together this year, along with our longtime short films programming manager, Paul Sloop, and his team. Altogether, we programmed 146 features and 182 short films for CIFF46, from both a process of curating films from other festivals and considering nearly 4,000 submissions this year. We're also honored to bring back both our Dreamcatcher and Groundbreaker programs and awards this year. Our fourth year of Dreamcatcher, this program supports the work of LGBTQIA plus directors, and we're thrilled to recognize pioneering trans filmmaker Chase Joint, director of the CIFF46 film Framing Agnes, as our Dreamcatcher Award recipient. Chase is a CIFF alum whose documentary No Ordinary Man won the CIFF45 Portrait Documentary Competition last year. And we're so happy to bring him to Cleveland in person this year to speak with local LGBTQIA plus organizations. And in our second year of Groundbreaker, a program born from our commitment to educate our community about the importance of working toward racial equity through film, we're thrilled to be bringing Indigenous filmmaker Brooke Pepian-Swanee to Cleveland with her film, Daughter of a Lost Bird. Brooke will receive our second Groundbreaker Award, which will help fund her future work as a filmmaker focused on telling contemporary Native stories. So without further ado, I'd like to kick it over to Neha to share some of her favorite films that made it into the festival this year.
Hi, my name is Neha Aziz, and I'm a writer, film programmer, and podcaster living in Austin, Texas. This is my first time programming films for the Cleveland International Film Festival, and I couldn't be more excited to be a part of this team. Every programmer brings a distinct voice and point of view to the table, and our lineup really reflects that. I love all the films on our slate, but I have a few I wanted to highlight that take a deep dive into character-driven storytelling. So the first film I wanted to talk about, it's for the romantics out there. It's called A Tale of Love and Desire by Leila Bouzid, which was the closing night film at Cannes Critics Week last year. We meet Emmett and Farah, who are students at the Sorbonne. They're very much opposites, but they complement each other in a very beautiful way, and their chemistry explodes off the screen, and we get treated to these stolen glances, swoon-worthy moments, and just honestly so much sexual tension that I was like at the edge of my seat, like with this like stupid grin on my face, just really wanting to know where the story was going to go. And it's just a really beautiful love story. And the second film I wanted to talk about is a documentary, one that also hit me very hard, called Midwives. It is a documentary feature from Snow Hin and Hyung, I believe, and I believe it needs to be essential viewing for everybody. The crisis in Myanmar has barely made headlines in the United States. Rohingya Muslims are under constant persecution and genocide from the military and the Buddhists who make the religious majority of the country. This documentary follows Hla, a Buddhist and an owner of a clinic, and Nyonyo, a Muslim, who is working as an apprentice and translator there. Uh, they're both constantly in danger because they're trying to help these communities, but like their communities are fighting with each other. And Nyonyo really takes Hala under her wing so she can be a strong pillar for the community. And it really isn't often that we get such an intricate glimpse into this crisis, and one that provides a little bit of hope for the future of Myanmar. And the last film I wanted to talk about is called Fire on the Plain. I love a good film noir, and this film is directed by Zhang Ji, and it really doesn't disappoint. The characters' names are Li Fei and Shu. They come from different worlds, but they have a strong bond nonetheless. While they're young, love is blossoming. A series of murders strike their city. However, the murders mysteriously stop without the cops knowing who is the perpetrator. And we take a flash forward, and it's 8 years later, and the two of them are in vastly different places. Like Shu is now a young police officer who decides to reopen the investigation from his past. And then Li Fei unexpectedly comes back into the picture. And, this film combines romance, a whodunit, social commentary, and so many twists and turns. And it's really like you couldn't want anything else from a movie.
Hi, my name is Yvonne Cotarruelo. This is my first year working here with the Cleveland International Film Festival. I'm Cuban. I live in New York and I used to be a film producer. But some years ago, I started working as a film programmer, and I feel very fortunate for working with Mallory Martin and our incredible team. I think we pull together an amazing program. I'm really happy to share with you some of my picks. So starting for a documentary, I should say many films have been made about Latinidad, but Isabel Castro Compeling's documentary Mija explore what it means to be the daughter of immigrants. The films dive into the life of Doris Munoz, a young Latina who is a true detective of musical talent. Doris is professionally focused in building representation for Chicano artists that live in Los Angeles. But she goes beyond that and she extends that reach when she finds Jax Hopt, a young Latina in Dallas, Texas. They will share not only the love for music, but they also will share the experience of being the firstborn in a family of immigrants. A true sisterhood is going to emerge. And Isabel Castro was right there to capture and reveal this complex story about Latinos' identity. So please don't miss the film. Sublime is a film that covers a huge range of emotions and explores young people conflicts. The film is centered on Manu, a young boy who, without noticing, falls in love with his best friend Felipe. With these issues at stake, the Argentinian director Mariano Biazin made with this opera prima not only a snapshot of adolescence, but also an enduring portrait about a generation. What are the scenes that what the young people are unable to express? How difficult it is to gain self-confidence. As a viewer, you will grow up very close to the main character, Manu, because you will embark in his journey of growing up. The range of emotion in this film is covered by the way of filming, plenty of intimacy and observational moments. Music will be on the air, so I think this is going to fit very well with the young people who might get inspired from this story. Another relevant examination that completely caught my eye was Katrina Krasniqi feature debut Vera Dreams of the Sea, which is a bold piece of character study that puts a woman's struggles versus patriarchal society at the center of this emotional moving narrative. The main character of the film, Vera, is an inspiration of the filmmaker mothers, so this film has a lot of personal. When Vera all of a sudden loses her husband, an unwelcome reality will haunt her. She needs to be fierce in order to protect her family. Krasniqi creates this intriguing narrative that will keep the audience on their toes. She builds up tension throughout excellent staging elements and also narrative devices. In Vera Dreams of the Sea, you will get the sense that there is a filmmaker that is whispering her word in order to broaden yours. Please come and watch Vera Dreams of the Sea because it's an unique experience.
Hi, I'm Brett Ryder. I'm originally from Chardon, Ohio, now live in Columbus, and I'm the Associate Features Programmer at CIFF. In One Road to Quartzsite, a group of people who might have little in common on paper have all found Quartzsite, the desert phenomenon as it's known, a community sustained and made whole by nomadic folks who come and go throughout the year. Each person has their own connection to the land, whether it's a place to sell and share crystals, a refuge from a past life, or just a place to climb trees with your pals. The unifying factor is community. The subjects are given the space to just exist in the frame, allowed to be free and wander, offering reflections on being alive in America through conversations of wealth, race, geography, politics, queerness, sometimes without ever really meaning to. And that's the most striking part of the film. It truly feels like there are no cameras at all, and at times it's like we as the viewer are just sitting there in the conversation with them. Homebody, directed by Joseph Sackett, is a body swap film with nuance, following Johnny, a young boy as he navigates his intense curiosity for his babysitter Melanie as he finds himself magically stuck inside her body on a sunny NYC day. As Johnny explores his temporary body and its limitations and capabilities, questions of gender and identity circulate. The beauty of this film lies within its idea that searching for your identity can be both chaotic and mundane, and sometimes that can cycle within the span of a few hours. There are more fantastical cinematic sequences that pull on the great wonder of finding yourself, but also there are intimate, human, everyday, grounded moments. Colby Miniffi's performance as both Melanie and Johnny is a showcase of great range and talent, never veering into cartoonish just because she's playing a kid. The film treats Johnny in this way as well. His story is monumental, and the importance of that is never minimized because of his age, and the film peppers the journey with humor and smart writing. Homebody is so sweet and charming and affirms that self-exploration is beautiful and worthy of a bit of brightness. Full Out Inside Ohio Show Choir is a perfect example of a film that gives you exactly what it says in the title, following 4 Ohio high school show choirs as they rehearse and prepare for a season of vocal competition, an art form that everyone in the film deeply loves and is committed to. And I mean it, they do in fact go full out. Through losses, rejection, long rehearsals, and fundraising issues, what never wavers is all of the choir's admirable focus and determination. Performing and creating art is what motivates them, and it's infectious to watch. And it's a universal tale. We were all once high schoolers with dreams, and while that sounds cliche, it doesn't take away the truth. Full Out Inside Ohio Show Choir celebrates its subjects' dreams, never making fun of them, always spotlighting and uplifting. Some of the best films are the ones that make you smile, that are pure of heart, and director Audrey Leach's Full Out Inside Ohio Show Choir is just that.
Hi, I'm Paul Sloop, the short films programming manager for the Cleveland International Film Festival. This is my 19th year heading up the selection of short films for the festival, and I continue to be known as the shorts guy around the festival, which just thrills me. For the 2022 festival, we received over 3,000 short film submissions, and with the films that I've seen at other festivals, we've actually considered close to 4,000 short films. Now, I've personally seen a little over 1,500 short films this year, and the short films programming team ended up viewing nearly 500 of those 3,000 plus submissions that I mentioned. Our process for selecting films at CIFF involves each film being viewed by 3 members of our volunteer screening team. And the films that score high enough with those move on to our programming team. Now, I'm joined on that programming team by Jason Stone, Gina Washington, Amanda Kavsak, and Sydney Warren. They watched countless hours of films to help us prepare to make the selections. And this year we ended up selecting 152 short films to play in the 24 short film programs that will be part of CIFF46 in person at our new home at Playhouse Square, as well as CIFF46 streams. Now, making our lineup is really meaningful to the filmmakers because we're one of the few festivals that is Oscar qualifying in all 3 categories. That means our jury award winners in the categories of Best Live Action Short, Best Animated Short, and Best Documentary Short become eligible to submit for official Oscar consideration, and that's a pretty big deal for them. Now, while it's never easy for a programmer to determine which films to talk about in a programmer's pick segment, because truly we feel like we've adopted all the films by the time we program for the festival, I'm going to do my best to highlight a few while saying they're all really outstanding. We think you should take the opportunity to see as many as you can. So we have 12 numbered programs this year. Those are our blended programs that include a mix of films, always at least 1 short animated film, 1 short documentary, and then a blend of live action films from comedy, heart, drama, and what we call wild cards, sci-fi, fantasy, thriller, action adventure, something like that. So let's talk about a few of the individual titles. The first one I would recommend is a short film called The Forgotten Place. It's written by and stars Canton area native Jeff Flocker. It's a remarkable film that I think you'll truly enjoy. I don't like to tell much about shorts because they're short, so check them out. But that's one with a local connection that we really think you'll enjoy. Another one with a local connection is a short called The Inventor. It's based on a true story from 1916 Cleveland in which brothers Garrett and Frank Morgan risked their lives to save trapped miners using a device that Garrett had invented. And then it tells about the lengths they went to and had to go to in order for the invention to get the attention it deserved. In the category of documentaries, oh wow, once again this year we have such a fantastic lineup of documentaries, it's hard to pick one. But the one that I will point out is called Resist, the Resistance Revival Chorus. It takes a look at an incredible group of diverse women and non-binary individuals who've come together to change the tone at protests around our country, bringing a different tune by bringing song to those protests. It's really an incredible story of how people gathering together can unite and make a difference. In the animated category, I draw your attention to an animated film called She Dreams at Sunrise. It's based on the life experience of director Cameron Johnson. Cameron is one of the stars of the CW HBO Max series Batwoman. He plays Batwing, and he's a rising star. This is his short film. He also co-stars and co-directed another short film on our After Hours program called Blue Bison, and he's planning to attend the festival and attend both of his screenings. So come out and see those, meet cameras, and talk to him as part of our Q&As. I'd also like to draw your attention to 3 of our specialty programs because the lineups are so solid in all 3 of them, and I really hate our audience to miss them. That's our Queer Cinema Shorts program, our Groundbreaker Shorts program, and our new Parability Shorts program. Please make sure to come out for all 3 if you possibly can. Finally, we will have our usual specialty programs. We have 2 comedy shorts programs, 3 family shorts programs, 2 after-hour shorts programs, and a couple of local hero shorts programs. From the family programs, I'd highly recommend Eager 1552, Superworm, and Father, Son, and the Beach. From our comedy programs, make sure to catch The Treatment, The Dog Friend, and Chemistry. In the After Hours lineups, which are both loaded with a lot of fun stuff, let me point out Blue Bison, as I previously mentioned, The Delivery, Why Don't You Like Me, and This Feels Right, which is a comedy film that has an alum that stars in it. And from our local heroes programs, let's say don't miss Snow Globe and the Cat, The Big Comeback, The Choir of Man at Playhouse Square, 100th and Cedar, and Running Home, The Run for Water story. That's a look at what we've got for shorts. I'll hope to see you there at the festival for as many shorts as possible.
Thanks to all of you for sharing your programmers picks. As Paul said, it's incredibly difficult to choose favorites from the hundreds of films we've all watched this past year. The best part about programming our festival, especially, is to be able to program something for everyone. With that said, I've done my best and happy to highlight 3 films in particular that I wouldn't want you all to miss at CIFF46. First up is Glob Lessons, directed by Nicole Rodenberg and written by and starring both Nicole and Colin Frober, both of who plan to attend the festival. Premiering at Tribeca last year, this is one of those true American independent films that remind you why film festivals are so important. It's a clear passion project film with a smart, fun script and an authentic story. We all could use a few laughs nowadays, so be sure to add this one to your list. Next up is On the Divide, directed by Maya Cueva and Leah Gallant, an extremely timely documentary about, at the time, the last remaining facility to provide abortions along the U.S.-Mexico border, the Whole Woman's Health Clinic in McAllen, Texas. With the unprecedented legal cases surrounding women's reproductive rights within the last year, especially in Texas, I urge all of you to not only watch this film, but also educate yourselves about how anti-abortion legislation in the U.S. can often directly target and affect women of color, immigrants, and low-income women in particular. And last, but certainly not least, please do not miss the hybrid documentary I Get Knocked Down, directed by Sophie Robinson and Dunstan Bruce. If you're singing Chumbawamba's Tub Thumping in your head right now, don't worry, you're in the right place. An unexpectedly fascinating insight into not only what happened to the one-hit wonder band since their claim to fame, but also what got them there. Spoiler alert, they started as an anti-establishment punk group. You'll follow lead singer Dunstan Bruce, now in his 50s, down a Dickens-esque journey as he visits his Ghosts of Chumbawamba past to answer the all-important question, what happened to us? And with that, the CIFF46 edition of our Programmer's Picks comes to an end. But don't worry, CIFF fans, the fun is just about to start with tickets going on sale to members Friday, March 11th, and to the general public on Friday, March 18th. I'm so happy to finally say we can't wait to see you all at Playhouse Square. Thanks.